Gratitude is a big factor in bringing an abundance in one's life because when we express gratitude for what we have, it lets universe know that we appreciate what we have and that we like it. So universe sends some more of it to us. But if we're always looking at lack, instead of being grateful for what we have, we're seeing and complaining about what we don't have or asking for more, then universe, well, okay, maybe they're not happy with this, and then they just don't send us anymore. The other thing to be very aware of is that it's something that must keep flowing. So as we're receiving, we share, we sort of move out what we are now no longer using because over time, I mean, you buy new clothes and after you worn them, either you get tired of looking at the same thing and the clothes are perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with them, they don't look worn, but you've kind of grown tired of wearing the same colors, same styles, and you want to get something new. So you must get rid of those to make room for more to come in. And when you move those and send them to somebody, like, give them goodwill or to give them to somebody who you know will like them, then you create space for more to come in instead of just piling it up. And in that, expressing gratitude for having the capacity to do that, having the ability to do that, encourages the universe and restores the flow and keeps the flow going. So gratitude is a big should be a big part of your daily life. And it doesn't have to be anything formal where you're saying, oh my God, I'm so grateful. It doesn't have to be that way. Every little thing, you know, you look at the trees and they're lush and green and there's greenery around and there's shade, even though there's sun. So you have the option to be in the shade if the sun is too hot or be in the sunshine. Just look up and just express gratitude from your heart for having that. Like you said before, it could be a kind message from somebody who smiles at you, because you don't know what people are going through. And that if you smile back at somebody, it may mean the world to them. Just acknowledging without words, acknowledging their presence. Being grateful isn't about just saying thank you and please. It is a feeling from the heart. It is having a heart full of gratitude. So, constantly living in an attitude of gratitude, you'll find that you're not just focusing on what is lacking in your life, but you're not like just bound by things or seeking abundance in um, money only, but appreciating the entire scope of abundance, the love, the relationship, the people in your life, and just thanking God for letting you have those in your life. So that's what gratitude is about. And it, when you're truly grateful, you can know because you feel it in your heart. You feel the energy shift in your energetic field. You feel, you may get chills, you may get, goosebumps, but however you feel it, but there is definitely a response from the universe, and you'll feel that uplifting of your mood and your total self and everything else. I mean, that may not be working just in everybody's life, nothing unusual. So that will, for the moment, be put on the back burner. You're not denying it and you're not just not dealing with it. but it's just not in the forefront. It's just not the focus of your life because whatever you focus on becomes your reality. There's everything around us, good, bad, ugly, everything is around us. Your reality is what you choose to see, what you focus on. So if you live with gratitude, you will always see the good in people. Yeah, of course, they're bad. Everybody has good and bad in them. You do too. I do too. And that's what makes us human. But shifting the focus, not in denial, but shifting the focus of attention and bring it to present and seeing everything that is so abundantly present in your life and being grateful for it will totally change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah, and one thing that I've learned with gratitude in my life and in my experiences is there's when you're expressing appreciation for something, there's like love for it. So it's different than just being, thankful for something you have. It's actually expressing love for that thing. So if I can give an example, I love my home. I'm thankful for my home. But when you say, thank you for my home, there's one feeling. When you say, I love my home, there's a different feeling. So I learned how to kind of make that subtle difference between appreciation and gratitude. And personally, I like using the word love because it feels to me more like I'm connecting with, again, with that attitude of appreciation. When you were speaking earlier, you said, when you appreciate something, you're giving off a signal that you like it and you want more
Yeah.
of it. And so more will come. And
Yeah.
I think that makes the difference. When you're just thankful for something, you fall into that category of, it's just mundane. You just say thank you, you just say thank you. But when it comes from the heart and you mean it and you're expressing love for it, it's just a little bit different,
Oh,
you know?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, you eat your food, but if there's no salt or sugar in it, there's no flavor. So that is the extra thing that adds the flavor because a lot of times we get lost in the mundane things like, we're stressed about work, we may be stressed about the kids or whatever's going on in our life and things maybe we may be dealing with. But in all of that, if you take a few moments and say that, you know, being grateful, yes, you have all these problems, but being grateful on the other side, the support, the love, the comfort that you have, comfort of your home, support of your family, love of the people around, um, you kind of counterbalance it. Then you're not tipping over on the side of lack, So it's yeah, gratitude and appreciation and thankfulness. This is just a fine line, but it's a very important fine line because when you say, "Oh, thank you," it means somebody gave you something and you're offering thanks for that. When you express gratitude, you own that. Like, I have that. I am that. You connect with it in a totally different way. Um, so that makes a big difference in how um, it makes you feel and how it is appreciated. And yes, gratitude is an important factor. And I think a good reminder um, every day or any time of the day actually is to just take a break, just think, okay, I'm grateful for this. You can do it in the morning, you can write a journal, or you can do it at the end of the day before you go to bed and you're saying your prayers, or even during the day. I mean, any time that you think of it. um, a lot of times I suddenly I think of my grandkids and something somebody said or they did, and I just offer gratitude. Like, I feel the love and light they bring into my life, and I'm grateful for that. Um, then, in the middle of the thing, I'm working on some project and I'm doing this, and suddenly I think of my daughter and everything that she does for us right now, and I express gratitude at that time for having her in my life. So it doesn't have to be any specific time, any specific way that you express gratitude, but just living in that energy just totally sort of brings you to a higher frequency, so and a higher vibration. So that becomes your reality.
Yes, and it's also that acknowledgement of blessings, right? There's something you said
Abs-
earlier about when you see your grandkids or when you think about your kids, that acknowledgement of blessings because they are blessings. You know, everything. There's so many blessings in our lives, and when we were recording earlier, you were speaking about blessings as well. We don't. They go unnoticed over
Yep.
time, and they lose their potency over time because we make it mundane. You know, one day we
Mhm.
were praying for this thing, and now we have it, now we're living it, and it's a blessing and it's wonderful. And then in a year, we forget that we prayed for this one day. This situation that we are in right now is something that we were wanting and something that we would give anything to experience. And now it's just a normal part of life. And it's up to us to keep that blessing, in acknowledgement and in appreciation. I think it's a
You
very
see,
fulfilling way to live that way.
you see, when you desire something, when you want something, and you get it, when it's new, you're all about enjoying it and loving it, and oh my God, so excited that I've received it. And then over time, it becomes, like you said, mundane because it becomes part of you. It becomes something you see all the time. And then it transitions, and there are two ways you can keep that. If it is something that's becomes very memorable to you, becomes very important to you, that you really love and would like to have it in your life, even though it doesn't have to be in the present life, you save it as a memento, and you kind of save it as something, a keepsake that you want to have. On the other hand, if it's something that's, you know, you're done with and you enjoyed it while it was new and while you had it and you were grateful for it, but gratefully then you pass it on to somebody else who can use it. Because if it's just like I gave the example of clothes, if the clothes are just hanging in your closet but you're not using them, pass them on to somebody who can get good use out of them. But for me, I see that there are certain um, items of clothing that mean a lot to me. I mean, something that is passed on from my mom. So even if they're old and kind of, um, look a little shoddy, but I want to keep it. I want to hold on because I feel the love. I feel her presence. I keep those. So the blessings must still flow. You can have a reservoir of things as keepsakes, even of items that you don't daily use. Now there are some shawls that my mom gave me. Um, they are kind of threadbare at this point, so I would not wear them out or wear them on special occasions or something, even though that's what they were for. But now I just, whenever I think of her, I kind of hold on to them. They bring back memories of, they resurrect memories of my time with her, and her energy kind of, I connect with that. The other clothes that I buy for daily wear and all that, after a while, even if it's new sometimes, I mean, I try it, but I didn't like it now. I liked it in the store, but I don't like it now. So I just move those out instead of hanging on to me. Oh God, I paid money for that and I don't like it now. What do I do with it? Don't become a sort of a storage unit for something that you don't really use, because there are people who would like that. And you don't have to get compensation for everything that you move out. You can just donate. So in the Sikh religion, we're required to uh, give like 10% of our earnings. And I think in Christianity too, they have tithing, and there's some form or other. Most religions have where you give back. And the purpose of that is, let's say, you're a farmer and you're growing wheat. You must keep a small percentage of that to use as seed for the next season. Otherwise, if you consume all of it, what do you do next season? You have to buy seeds again. So just save some of that and you can seed it. So tithing in any form is like seeding money. So understanding that why giving is again part of gratitude, being grateful for what you have and sharing with others. For those who may not have enough, it keeps that going, keeps reseeding, and keeps growing and flowing. So, yeah,
Yeah, I like that idea of seeding. I love that
mhm,
idea because yeah, it is something that's talked about a lot, even in a lot of books and self-help. They always talk about saving 10%. I recently read something as well, in a self-help that talked about the 10% that you should give and give freely with gratitude. And yeah, I think there is something to that about the seeding. And also, when it comes to sharing with others and living this life of abundance, when you were saying about keeping keepsakes, there becomes this line of keeping keepsakes, and then it turns into hoarding after a while, right? You don't want to
yeah,
become a
yeah,
hoarder. And I saw this wonderful channel on Instagram. Um, this lady, she preserves keepsakes for you. So and a lot of it is to do with weddings. So let's say you had a wedding and you've got your bouquet, and a lot of people just chuck the bouquet because it's flowers and they die.
mhm,
And she preserves them in resin, in some kind of epoxy resin, and she preserves them and makes like either a picture frame out of it or a cutting board or something where you can use it daily or see it daily and appreciate it. You appreciate that day. Like this was my wedding
uh,
flowers or whatever. And they do it with other things too. You mentioned clothes of your mom. There's a repurposing that they do as well. Like they would take, something that was special that they wear that is no longer maybe appropriate for you to wear, or maybe it's not your style or whatever. And they repurpose it into something else. So it
yeah,
could be like maybe, and I'm just like, just using a random example, maybe they'll take a pair of jeans and they'll repurpose it into a purse or a bag, or
yeah,
maybe they'll
yeah,
take a scarf or a larger piece of fabric and repurpose it into like an outfit or a blouse or something.
mhm,
So even in the repurposing, the changing of things from one thing to another to continuously appreciate, that
yeah,
is also like a theme, and
yeah,
I like that. I love that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for you teaching me today all about gratitude and appreciation. And yeah,
and
to
appreciate your support, and I'm grateful for us, so grateful for everything that you do. I just, it has just incorporated and has become a part of my life, and just, um, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.